Hello, this is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. Tanyag Company is a business advising consulting firm. We specialize in providing results-driven consulting to inspire passionate business owners to double their income and grow their business while creating an ideal lifestyle. Today, I'm doing a talk on effective communication skills closes 50% more deals. This is a talk I am doing for I call my First Friday. It's a monthly First Friday workshop that I do for the real estate industry, and we do topics on how to grow your business. The reason I chose this effective communication skills close 50% more deals because communication skills is the key in getting more business in the door, especially now since there's so much social media, so much access to online texting, and even with millennials growing up, they're very good on the texting, online, social media, but they're not very good face to face. And it's interesting too. I realized that there was a book called Face to Face Advertising, and it talked about face to face is never going to go away. It's just going to get more prominent in the future. So basically means when you're in front of people, you got to make the first impression. You have to make a phenomenal impression because you may not get in front of them again. And it's very difficult to do that. So the reason I chose this topic, effective communication skills close 50% more deals, because the bottom line is if you can communicate better than your competition, communicate where the prospect is becoming an eager buyer because your message he or she can actually relate to, and there's a genuine need, there's no reason you can't close. So let me tell you a little bit of background. I mean, I started in sales 20 years ago, had no sales experience, didn't understand any business, didn't know how to communicate in a business setting, didn't even care about wearing suits and ties, just wore the khakis and a collar shirt. Came from a full-time registered bachelor's in science and nursing, and transitioned to 100% commission independent contractor with B&I as area director. Eventually owned my own business, been in several partnerships. Now I'm on my own. So I came from an employee mindset to an independent contractor mindset to a business owner mindset. So thinking about that is, I was an employee. I didn't really care. I mean, even as an independent contractor, I was still acting like an employee. I know I love to talk, and I love to say 10 words or more because I wanted to be smart, but I didn't know how to communicate. I like to hear myself talk. And if you met me 20 years ago, like, this guy can't be the same guy. And also other people would think, when they meet me today, they think I'm an extrovert, but I'm really 100% introvert. I don't really like networking events. I'm actually pretty good at it because I've learned the skills and how to do it, how to develop business out of it, but I didn't really like it. I was awkward. I'll give you an example. I'm an INTP, so we like to go in there with a strategy and tactics. When I go networking, I would go with what I call bosom buddies. I'd bring a buddy to me, and we'd go network in the room, and we'd co-introduce each other to people, and then we'd follow up, and it worked really well. I had a friend of mine who was an extrovert. He worked with me. He would just go talk to 20, 25 people and meet with them, shake their hand, and connect with them. I'd only talk to 5 or 6 and make meaningful relationships. Now, he would always say it's meaningful because he'd follow up, have coffee with them. I only wanted 5. I mean, it was the same results, but it was just different. I could do the 20, but, extroverts get their energy by being by themselves. And so if I'm sitting down talking to 20, 25 people in a day or more, I'm exhausted. So I would go to networking events, just meeting 5 or 6 people in the right target market, getting people to introduce me, and that was it. My friend who was an extrovert, he would go and not meet a ton of people, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, get their cards, follow up. It's just because he loved that stuff. He got jazz over it. And it was interesting, as an INTP, if you go back and you read Myers-Briggs on the strengths and weaknesses, especially weaknesses, INTPs are quite shy in social settings. They're insensitive, condescending, logical, making friends that's not normal for them. They're not warm. They don't have many business contacts. Nothing less, their business communication became very intense, close, and distance. Now, if you ask my wife, because she knows I'm INTP, she has hit me a couple times on the head and said, honey, you can't say that. You can't present like that. You can't talk like that. I was like, that's me. I said, oh, and I go, that snap back, go, oh, okay, I get it. All right, that's right. They're not going to receive the message. They're not going to understand what I'm saying because I'm just communicating like I want to be communicating. And when I started at B&I 20 years ago, and I always had difficulty in starting new groups because my closing ratio was terrible because I had to explain a concept to people. So I didn't know how to read it. Once the groups got up and running, People could see the power of it, and people were making money. It become easier and easier. So I got used to that business model. So when I started and left BNI and became an area director, left BNI as an area director, and we started a business consulting franchise. It was very difficult because I didn't have that business that people would get to know and experience me. I had to basically learn how to communicate. And it was very hard. I mean, it was so hard that I just didn't understand it. It took me a while, and then, I realized that you can be in business for like 10, 15, 20 years, and you're going to always have struggles in business. I mean, we all have struggles. The difference is, can we work past it, work around it, work through it? And 11 years ago, I had a struggle. And when I started my business advising consulting firm, I left BNI. I remember 1 month, 3 months straight, I would get in front of 20 people. It was amazing, 20 people. But I'd only close maybe 3 people a month, or sometimes only 1.5 to 2. And that was terrible. And I couldn't figure out why my closing ratio was really bad. It was only like less than 50%. My former partner got so nervous. He said, "Hey, Arnell, let me just close the people for you," because he was, before he was worked with me business advising consulting. We had a joint partnership, and he was a life insurance agent. He can close. That guy can close. He was very good at closing. I literally didn't have any formal sales training. It was very difficult. And I wasn't a fan of sales training because I was going to find a pain point. I believe people will buy for the future. If there's a genuine need, help them get to the future. If you find the pain point, they buy the pain point, but then they're looking for the next pain point. So I didn't always agree with it. And the people I was exposed to, they were just really pushy. So not only struggling in those 3 months, I was slugging closing deals. I was even struggling asking people for referrals because I didn't know how to ask and how to approach, when not to say, what to say that. And I was the BNI person. I thought it would have been really easy. No, it was really hard. There was no issue of lack of passion. There was no issue with hard work. There was no issue of not wanting to do the best I can. The struggle was real, and I realized I was lagging in certain skills to take my business to the next level. I realized I had to get those skills. I had to pay the money and invest into it, because if I didn't get those skills, or at least work on my business to get to the next level, I wouldn't be in business. So my wife met somebody and told me this coach, and I went. My wife and I went for a whole weekend, drove up to DC, paid money for a hotel room, paid $1,500 each. It's almost like $3,000. Her and I went up there, and we went together. And it was like our weekend day. It was really good. I'll tell you what, I came out of there all fired up, studied the information. The next 90 days, I doubled my income. And I realized it was communication skills. I needed to know how to communicate. It was so phenomenal that even my partner said to me, "Arnell, what are you doing? You're killing it. You went from struggling to like soaring." Because what I did is, not only did I invest in my business and I invested in my personal development, I learned about studying people. I really got understanding of that, and I actually now in my business I get better at that, and I teach my clients to get better at that. Because if you're going to build a business, you're going to hire people. If you're going to build a business through word of mouth referrals and relationship, you're going to work through people. Now, if you buy advertising, you buy leads, okay, that's fine. But you still have to talk to people. Somebody's got to close them, or you have to teach your people to close them. So what I figured out, here's the 3 activities that I realized that there's 3 activities you have to work on to increase your communication skill. Activity number 1, or application number 1, is first learn how your communication style is. And there's two ways you can learn. You can either study Myers-Briggs or DISC. Like, for example, in the DISC profile, I'm straight to the point. Some people who are Myers-Briggs they're INTP. The reason I have Myers-Briggs is it breaks it down a little longer. There's 16 different personalities, but there's a book called The Art of Speed Reading that you can actually read, and tells you how to specifically talk to them. But I tell people just learn DISC, because DISC, what you can do, you can ask them, are they straight to the point, cautious, perfectly accurate, social and outgoing, and study dependable. If you're talking to somebody straight to the point, you just have to be short, simple, straight to the point. Don't ask questions. Here's what you need to do. Short and quick, and simple. And that's how you deliver the message. If you're social outgoing, you might want to make fun. You want to make it upbeat and say, "Hey, here's what we're doing. What do you think about it?" And leave it there. And it was interesting, because in all the years I've done it, as I've been able to adjust, I've had people who are straight to the point, and I have to tell them, "Hey, look, if you're really that good at what you do, then you should invest. If you're not, then you're really not good. Then shoot, don't waste my time." And people, "Oh, no, I'm serious," and they put the money down, because I could talk based on their motivation, talk based on their communication style. And it's interesting. I mean, I had a gentleman who was a business owner who basically got a salesperson, and the salesperson told him, hey, you'll be the best in the world. Here's what you need to do to be number one. The guy spent $13,000 on some banner ad at Channel 13 and got zero. And I told him, don't do it. But he got sold because the guy was straight to the point and talked to his ego. Then I had somebody who was studying dependable, and she was uncomfortable with this referral source because this guy was straight to the point and very driven by ego, and he kept pinging her, like, will you give me referrals? She said, Arnell, and she was a client of mine. She says, how do I handle that? I said, it's really easy. You want referrals from him? He goes, yeah. I said, well, let's see if he can prove the point. So I told her, just tell him, you're not good. Oh, I don't know you that well. I can give you introductions. If I'm going to do that, I need you to show that you can refer, because I don't really know you. And I need to see some proof in the pudding. And if you're really good at it, you will. He was quiet, walked out of her office, got his briefcase, made about 6 calls, got 3 appointments for her, and she was close 2 out of 3. And she goes, okay. And she goes, thanks a lot. And then she goes, well, how do I handle him after that? It's all straight negotiation, straight to the point. Here's what you're going to do. And she said, oh, I get it. And I explained it to her. She goes, oh my God. I said, that's why we study people's personality, their communication, their motivation. And then in this video, if you send me an email in the comment or on Facebook, there'll be a comment in my notes. I'll send you the notes. And I actually have a cheat sheet on this and how you can actually communicate and be really efficient, effective, and it actually works. Application number 2 is establish rapport while connecting deep. And basically what that means is learn how to do small talk. Most salespeople, most business owners, or most people in general don't know how to do small talk. I use the acronym FROG, F-R-O-G plus M, FROG plus M, and other people call it F.O.R.M. FROG, I call it family, recreation, occupation, goals, and then plus M is the message. Because when I'm asking all the questions, the message to me is a separate identity, because I really want, that's the next step in the process. But I also know when I'm asking questions, I mean, I always, I've learned to smile, and I remember I didn't used to smile 20 years ago, and the way I practice smile is I just look in the mirror and I smile, and I practice my teeth, how my lips and all that look like, and I think of a happy thought, and I just smile. I give a word of encouragement. I pay attention. Listen, I ask a lot of questions to control the conversation. I want to generally be their friend, and I ask, and I actually have a sheet called Your Approach. I ask them what their biggest challenge is, and I really go out of there and figure out how to help them. And the reason is because if you can spend time getting them to talk about themselves, what they love to do, what they're excited about, what's wow them, it is amazing how you make that instant connection. And then the other thing too is, like, if it's a woman after I meet with me and I say, hey, are you a hugger? Let me give you a hug. If it's a guy, shake their hand, because I mean that is, I'm just being genuine. And application number 3 is mirror and matching. I was watching a video by Tony Robbins who talks about how to beat rapport is you mirror and match. And he talks about if somebody yells at you, you yell at them. You mirror their body language. You mirror their tone, their proximity, your breathing, their touch, their tempo, their volume. They use the same words, their posture. Now people ask me, do I mirror everything? Well, you just do your best. I mean, be strategic about it. I mean, and somebody goes, well, somebody knows I'm mirroring them and they're mirroring me. I said, that's kind of flattering. I mean, because even if somebody mirrors me, I'm going to look at genuinely how they are as a person, how are they in doing their business, and then are they genuinely willing to want to help me, or are they trying to sell me? So I think it's flattering if somebody mirrors me. But again, all 3 are learn your communication style, communicate that way to them, establish rapport by connecting deep by asking a lot of questions and really finding that what makes that person tick, and then mirror and match. And there's a video by Tony Robbins you can watch. And if you can apply any of those 3 things in your application, you'll improve your communication skill. Because imagine this, if you walk out of here and your communication skill needs to be worked on, and you work on any of these 3 things, and then you apply it and you get better at it, how will your business look like 30 days from now? How will your business look like 60 days from now? How will your business look like 90 days from now? I know, because when I struggled in my business 10, 11 years ago, I had to take a class. I had to learn this, and I saw my business double. And I didn't do any time management stuff. I really just focused on how to communicate well when I'm in front of people, how to communicate on the phone. And I'm still a work in progress, but remember, 20 years ago, I was terrible at it. I mean, it even says in the INT, has no business contacts. But over time, I've learned how to get better at it, because at the end of the day, I mean, I have no choice about Because one of our core values of Tanyag Company is build a business through referrals, through relationships. And so I have to be able to win people over. And it goes against everything I've learned in my personality, but I break that mold because at the end of the day, my business is built by people. It's built by relationships that value what I have to offer, what my company has to offer, and how do I give to them and they give back to me. And over the last year or two, I've been spending time really figuring out that process and got better at it, because I really believe if you communicate the way they need to be communicated, you build that rapport by asking questions and be very good at small talk and what they're passionate about, and you mirror and match, your business will double. So think about it. How will your business be 90 days from now if you can apply any of these? How would you really change? I'm a living example of change for me, and I hope and change for you. Again, this is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. If you have any questions on how to apply any of this communication style, or have any questions, the information I sent you, don't hesitate to call me. My number is 757-257-0390. No, I think that's my fax. Excuse me. Number is 757-752-8169. Or just put a comment in, hey, like Arnell, I'd like to talk to you. If you can apply any of this information to your business, I guarantee you, you'll do very well, especially if you're on face-to-face with people or talking on the phone. Again, I hope this information I give you on the 3 applications you can apply, and you'll do well in your business. And again, thanks for listening, and have a great day.